Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, what I like to do is to create videos that I would have found helpful when I first got out looking for treasure. Things like what we have before us today, silver and hopefully gold bangles. These are one of the things that I really love to grab at thrift shops because they'll often be packaged like these ones right here, and I'll talk about that in a second. They are all over the place, and most of them are not silver or gold, but enough of them are silver or gold that they are a lot of fun to find, and when you find them, they're not usually very expensive. They're also extremely interesting in many cases because the makers are quite varied. They can be from all over the world. And they are frequently not just like, in the case of many of these, sterling, but some of them are actually like fine silver even. So some of these come up as 999 fine, which is just kind of an interesting or fun thing. I'm going to set these ones aside though for right now because those are some ones that I found in the past. And what I want to talk about today is these ones right here. I found these at the thrift shop. I found these yesterday, and then I found this one just a few minutes ago, and I have high hopes for it. I'll tell you why in a bit. When I find these, usually what will happen is there's so many different bangles that they'll all get looped together like this, and then there will be just tons and tons and tons of them. And most of them are trash, and this is where your magnet comes in. These magnets are incredibly handy, and they can tell you right off the bat, that right there is steel, see? So you know that one's not going to be silver. It's way, way too magnetic. This one, steel. This one isn't hitting the magnet, but I don't know that this one is actually sterling. We'll have a look at that one again in a second. What attracted me to and why I paid my $4 entry fee was this one right here. And you can see right off when you compare, there's definitely a quality difference in terms of the craftsmanship. And you've got real nice tarnish on there. In addition to being just a beautiful bracelet, you have something which I quite like to see, which is you can see where it was joined, but it was done well. And then if you look at the outside, if I can get my camera to focus. Oh, come on, camera. Then you look at the outside and you don't really see that join mark. So this is very, very clearly a quality piece of jewelry. And then you can look for the mark on the inside, which isn't always there, but on a piece of quality jewelry like this, there we are, sterling. So we have a nice piece of sterling for $4. I'm not entirely sure how much this weighs, but you know what we're going to do? We're going to deploy our best scissors ever. We're going to snip this so that we can get a little weight, see how much silver we got for our $4, and then also have a double check on this one, which the magnet did not respond to. So these other ones are definitely just costume. This one feels way too light. So yeah. So you definitely have a weight difference, and that's because this isn't reacting to the magnet because this is aluminum. So again, we're not looking at at anything precious. That's just costume. But what we'll do is we'll check this one real quick on our little scale. Just have a little kitchen scale here. Nothing too precise. It's not really what I'm after. Not really looking for precision. Just a scale I picked up at the thrift shop. Let's see. So we paid $4 for this. How many grams of silver did we get? 17 grams, 18 grams. You know, we'll just go with 17. So, you know, that's what, $17, give or take, at current silver prices. That's not too bad for $4. Now let's have a look at this next one. So sort of the same thing going on here, except this one even looks nicer. If we use our magnet, we can see things like that isn't responding, but it is, again, the same thing as the other one. It's aluminum. And then we have two others here. I think what we're going to get is we're going to get, oh, no magnetism. So we'll just double check. That one's aluminum too. You can see it's kind of got that purple look. And then this one is just not very high quality. You can see how these stones are, they're pinched in with this metal, but they're not, if I can compare it, I'm going to see if I've got a better stone to show you. I'm sure I've got, you know what? I'm going to grab some rings. There we go. We've got, I'll just fish out something in here so I can compare and show you. Yeah. We'll just grab this one right here. And you can see how each of the prongs is individually bent, but they're large and they have kind of a knobbly end. Whereas if we compare this, they're thin and they just bend right over. So there's a big difference between costume, even when the stones aren't just glued in, and real jewelry. But as I put away this ring, that just tells us we can go ahead and snip it and look at the good one, which magnet does nothing to. So let's go ahead and deploy our giant scissors. Just my favorite scissors. They're probably not the best thing for this job, but you know what? They work and they're fun. All right, so we'll set our other little costume stuff aside. And again, you see just like this one, we've got nice tarnish. We've got high quality engraving. It's just a very nice bangle. Now we can look on the inside for the marking. Camera does not like this kind of video, does it? There we go. What do we got? Come on. Danecraft sterling. Now I don't know much about Danecraft, but I'll tell you after this video I'll be looking it up. Although I suspect the fantastic audience that I have will be able to tell me something about Danecraft. But yeah, I think that was worth $4. Let's just see from a total sterling standpoint, was it worth it? So for our $4 on that one, we got 15 bucks worth of silver. So $8 bought us 33. Can't complain about that. Just from a pure sterling standpoint. But honestly, these are just very nice bracelets. And I suspect, given the quality, especially of this one, that from a retail perspective, that's worth more money. So never pass up the bangles when you see them. Now, we're going to check this guy out here real quick. And I have high hopes, and I'll show you why I have high hopes. First off, it looks like gold. Now, that's not to say you can't polish up brass to look like gold. But the very first thing about this that I see is that it's got that gold look to it. And if you've been around gold a lot, you'll know what I mean. Now, if we zoom in, the reason I bought this was that I couldn't find anything on it that didn't scream gold to me. Now, I also paid 50 cents for it, which helps. If it was just brass, you know, I'm out 50 cents. But if it's gold, 50 cents for a gold bangle is pretty dang awesome. Now, what I was looking at here is, you can see it's scratched, it's dinged up, it's definitely been around the block, but we are not seeing any kind of copper coming through, are we? There's no brass, there's no copper. Now, the other thing about this one is that I could not find any kind of markings. And I want to say that I kept thinking that I was finding markings, but I just couldn't. Not with my loop, not previously. We're going to just check it here real quick, and we're going to see if we can find anything. But the main thing that I want you to take away when you're watching this video is that we're not finding brass coming through. And then, of course, the magnet doesn't react to it in the slightest. And one of the things is, see how bent up it is? It's definitely been through the ringer. This thing has been battered around quite a bit. But that's a good sign for us, because a bracelet that was gold plating over brass, or gold plating over anything really, that was this battered and bent up, would be showing other signs of the plate wearing off. So these are all things that have my hopes way, way up. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and test it. Okay, we are now set up. Let's just go ahead, and I was told that I needed to make sure that I did like a long line like this, so that I can do different test acids. So we'll go real long, just like that. That's showing up real nice on the camera. All right, so the way test acid works is that you take the test acid, and if it dissolves this, then you know you didn't have gold. You know you just had brass, because the acid, this particular acid is 10 karat. It will dissolve anything that's under 10 karat gold. And it usually works pretty quick. You can see it is not dissolving. So this is at least 10 karat, which is extremely good news. Means our 50 cents was very well spent. All right, let's grab our 14 karat. And let's see, what happens there? Well, what do you know? It's at least 14 karat gold. What do you think the odds are? I think this thing is 18. We try an 18 dot. Oh, see how it goes away with the 18? Now it's all going away. Perfect. You know what that tells us? That tells us this is a 14 karat gold bracelet. Well, awesome. So 14 karat for 50 cents. All right, I'm going to take this away, and we'll weigh it up, and we'll see how much gold we got for our 50 cents. Okay, now we're back with a scale, although I have a problem. Let's go ahead and make sure this is... why don't I see... I don't know if the scale is going to work like this, but... we're going to start it with that, which should tear it out to 0 if the scale can handle it. And then just toss that, and then we're good. All right, so that is 3.2 grams of 14 karat. So we can do a little quick math and say 3.2. 3.2 times, last time I checked, gold was like 93 a gram times 93. So we'll just go with that number. I think it might be higher. And then times 0.585, because 14 karat gold is 58.5% gold, which means our little teeny 50-cent bangle is about 170 bucks. Just melt weight right now. So when I say that I love bangles, this is not the first gold bangle I've found. Interestingly, the last two that I found were both 18 karat gold. So when I say I love these stupid little things, and you should never pass up the bangle piles at the thrift shop. I really mean it. This is a very rich source of sterling, and on occasion, a very nice little way to get gold. Yeah, and if something looks like gold and it's only 50 cents, hey, take the gamble. Get one of these little testing kits. I'll link it in the description. It's only like 27 bucks, I think, last time I checked. And you can verify for yourself. You got yourself some gold. It's also interesting that this is unmarked. I don't know if it actually is unmarked or if there was a mark in there, and then this has been worn a lot, which happens. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, if you have any questions, go ahead and add them to the comments. I always love to hear from anybody. And if you've also found bangles like this out and about, I'd also love to hear from you, because they're a lot of fun. They're not just, pretty and nice. They're also really fun to find. And oftentimes there are just so many to look through that it's a hoot to actually do that, to look through them. Have a great day.
Thanks for watching.